If you're looking to upgrade your tremolo or modify your guitar, you might have heard of Guyker's new GK1000. That is what we're going to take a look at today. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and yeah, this is actually a Firefly guitar. It's their kind of EVH tribute Wolfgang-style guitar. And I just realized I've never actually reviewed this. I've used this in a couple of videos for fret work and things like that, but I've never really reviewed it. One of the reasons is because I had a lot of problems with the tremolo that was on here. It was just not great. I decided I would go ahead and put one of those new Guyker GK1000s on this guitar and see if that would help. It actually sat in a case for a while. I was like, oh man, I gotta bring that out because that is a great guitar. I love the guitar, the tremolo just pretty much stunk. And this is what was on here. It's interesting because it actually has, let's see if I can get that to focus, a Floyd Rose, well, a Floyd Rose quote unquote block that's on here, but the rest of it just, it didn't want to stay in tune. It was pretty crappy, and you can actually see, I don't know, I'll try to show you, but I barely used this and it was already wearing here. It looks like there's copper or brass underneath that chrome, so that's not going to be good. And that's the thing. I mean, when you're looking at upgrading your tremolo, if you want to get a Floyd Rose, that's going to be pretty darn expensive. A Vega Trem, pretty expensive. I did just do an upgrade on one of the Fireflies that I have to a Floyd Rose 1000 series, and that was previously unavailable. It's now available. Is it better? I think the 1000 is, but they also have the special that cost about the same price as one of these GK1000s, but the Floyd Rose special is not so great. Doesn't have a stainless steel plate, has a couple of spot hardened things on it. It's generally not a great tremolo. And if you get a Floyd Rose, that does not come with the locking nut. It's an additional $45, I think, for a locking nut. However, they do have some color options, and so does the GK1000. Let me tell you a little bit about this GK1000. I don't love having to rely on the website, but this has got some stuff. Let me just show you, okay? They have 4 different colors. They've got chrome, black, gold, and rainbow, which looks like heat-treated metal. The chrome is the least expensive, then the black one is $159.99, $165.99 for the gold, and for the rainbow, $169.99. So this one's $160, and yeah, you can get a Floyd Rose special for about the same price, but again, it doesn't have that stainless steel plate, the base for it, and that is the basis of everything. That's got your knife edges and everything on there. You want to make sure that those don't get damaged, and if you have soft metal, it's not going to last very long. Once those get damaged or flattened or whatever, then it's just not going to stay in tune. And that's a big problem. That's one of the reasons why you need a locking nut as well. And if you get a Floyd Rose, that does not come with the locking nut. It's an additional $45, I think, for a locking nut. But this kit comes with a locking nut. You can choose 42 or 43 millimeter. The base plate on this is 304 stainless steel. It's great for corrosion resistance and long-term stability. The saddles are precision crafted zinc alloy. Tremolo arm is solid iron material. And the block on this is brass, which is really nice. You're not going to get that on a standard Floyd Rose. That's an extra, oh, I don't know, sometimes $60 to $100 for one of those. I do wish that the saddles were stainless steel, but you know, I can deal with that. Brass is more sturdy and it's great for sustain, so that's a good thing. I know there are a good amount of choices out there. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to try this one out so that I could share with you. I gotta tell you, it works really well. One of the problems with this guitar though, is it really needs to be routed a little bit more back here. The previous one, I feel like the one that was on it, definitely made in China. The only Floyd Rose that I see on there is on this block, and who knows if that's authentic or not, but it's not even a licensed Floyd Rose. But it feels to me like this block is a little bit more forward towards the front of this plate than this one is, and that's why it's a little tight in there. So it's not the tremolo itself. It's just the guitar could use a little bit more of a route. And because of that, normally I want this to be completely level from the post to the back of this. But when I do that, this is really close to the wall there. I can barely get any play out of it. So I said, well, let me see if I can do it this way without having to route this. And you know what? Usually when you don't have it level like that, it doesn't stay in tune and whatnot, but this, it's really doing very well. So even when it's not set up exactly how it should be, it's still staying in tune and working really well. You know, it's a delicate balance between string tension and spring tension. So in order to get this to pull up a little bit, it's going to be a little bit closer to that, and so that's just how it is. But you know what, as soon as I get access to a router, I'm probably going to go ahead and just hit that a little bit, you know, route that out. Like I said, I wanted to get this guitar going again, and I was really curious to see how well this tremolo does, so let's show you. All right, so I haven't tuned this guitar since yesterday, and I just checked the tuning. It's pretty much spot on, so. Let's just put it on a clean one real quick here. So that's pretty good. Go back to the dirty channel. So it works really well. I'm pleasantly surprised that this thing stays in tune so well. I haven't tuned it since yesterday, like I said. And even then, I was just using the fine tune adjustments there, which is kind of surprising because this is not level. As I said, you know, I would like to do that, but then this block is too close to the edge right there, and basically it hits it. So I could pull up, but I couldn't go down. And well, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to go both ways. The other thing is I've got 3 springs on here right now. Maybe 2 springs would be a little bit better. Maybe it would level out with 2 springs. I haven't tried that yet, but fluttering is, you know, I mean, it's so-so. So, I mean, it'll flutter, but probably better if there was a little bit less resistance. 2 springs type of thing. I'm a big fan of Alex Lifeson from Rush. One of the reasons why this channel is called Vapor Trail Channel is because their album Vapor Trails. So when I was learning some stuff for the Vega Trim, one of the songs I picked, because it has a lot of tremolo in there, a lot of whammy, is Limelight from Rush. So let's just try that out. The thing, I mean, you can do all that. Oh, by the way, I'm using my favorite strap locks right now from Rock Lock. Super easy to take off and put on. If you haven't seen the video for that right now, you should go check it out because they're awesome. And I got nothing to worry about. So I'm wireless and I'm locked in. That's pretty good. Bad. I mean, it might be a little bit out of tune right now, but if I were on stage, it'd be perfectly acceptable. Hand it off to my guitar tech, have it tuned up for me, or just hit the tuner on my pedal board and give it a quick tune using the fine tuners down here. But yeah, pleasantly surprised. I think this thing is doing really good. That stainless steel base, definitely helping out. And like I said, I mean, it's not even level and it's still doing well, staying in tune. Gotta like that. Well, I did shoot a little bit of footage while I was installing this, so let's go ahead and take a look at that and we'll see just how easy it was to do this. All right, so I do have some Everly B52s here that I'm going to use. I have not tried these yet. Ultra magnetic electric guitar strings with alloy 52 extra lights, 9 to 42s. These come from the same company that makes Clear Tone, that is the Everly Strings company. So yeah, I'm looking forward to trying those out. All right, so this is how this came. It was just all stuffed in there like this. It was in a little box. But yeah, so that's it. We're gonna take a look at this closer in just a minute. What else did we get in here? So we've got a tremolo arm that has the cuff on it, little parts bag right here, and we've got the locking nut right here, some installation screws, and we've also got the string retainer bar, which this one already has a black one on it. I'll probably just leave that one on there. Okay, that's all that's in there. This bag right here, oh, this right here is like a detuna, I think, but I have not figured out how to use it yet. I tried to install it and was like, no, I'm just going to hold off. I'll see if they can tell me how to install that better. That's one of the things I've noticed is that they don't have very good instructions on their website. Okay, in this bag we've got springs, we've got a claw, just in case you need that. You've got your bushings and your posts right there, and the installing hardware for that. And we'll just go ahead and start by snipping these off here. And loosen up the claw. The claws look pretty similar, so I'm just going to go ahead and try leaving that one in there for now. It looked like the holes were a little bit narrower on this one than on the other one, so I don't want to have to re-drill. But I will use the springs that they included. All right, that'll just drop on out of there now. Okay, so this is the old one with the big fat zinc. Well, this actually says Floyd Rose on it though, so that's interesting. Floyd Rose 34 millimeters. The bridge had no markings on it for Floyd Rose, but this does. One of the things I wanted to look at is how much meat is left on the wood there, because I hadn't looked at that on here yet, but it looks pretty decent. Now this did come with its own bushing. I've taken the post out of there. Let's just see if that fits inside the old bushings. Yep, it does, and that's a really good thing. I don't have to replace the bushings, so cool. And looking at that cavity, it's really not too bad. It looks pretty good, pretty clean. Take a look at the back. Well, it seems like that paint could be a little bit better in there. But let's do this. I just want to see how that fits in there. And yeah, that looks pretty good to me. It looks a little uneven. We'll see how everything goes when it's all pulled together. Just to give you a quick little side-by-side on these, got a brass block on the Guyker. And this, I'm gonna say it's probably zinc alloy. Let's see if I can really zoom in on this here. You can already see some damage on the knife edges there, and it looks like that might be brass underneath there. So yeah, whereas this base plate is full stainless steel, so that's cool. Also on this one, you have two bracketed areas on it. On this one, you've got the bracketed area and then a straight knife edge. So that might actually make it easier to fit if your posts are a little bit wider or narrower. All right, let's go ahead and remove this old nut. All right, here is the new one. We'll go ahead and put that on there. Everything lines up. Just going to use the new screws that came with it. Sometimes it's easier to get it started with the small screwdriver and then go to the bigger one. Just trying to keep it centered on there. Alrighty. Now we're going to see if that's all right, because the original one that was on here was this, and this one, it seems like that's just a little bit taller on that side. And the last one that I put on there, that didn't work out because it was just too low. I would have to shim it. So who knows? I might still have to shim this, but it's better than this one that was on there. All right, well, let's go ahead and drop her in. Now I'll worry about tightening those claw screws here in just a minute. Go ahead and put the bar on here for a second, just to pull that up. I'm going to go ahead and put this underneath. Trim blocker. And I'll just do an initial kind of eyeing it to see how low I want this to be. I'll loosen up that claw just a little bit more. Just take some of the tension off of it, because what we don't want to do is twist those and damage the posts or anything like that. So it's much better to do that before you put strings on there and get tension on it. All right, that's pretty low. I'll probably have to raise that. It looks a little bit straighter. I'm sure once we get some string tension on there, it'll look straighter, but that should do the trick. I went ahead and shimmed the nut using a piece of one of these neck shims, and I think that'll work out just fine. I'm gonna get started with getting these strings on here. That's like a whole nother video that I could do, is stringing up and setting up a Floyd Rose style tremolo. We'll do a little bit of that here, but I'm gonna go ahead and kind of fast forward through this. These are color coded, but on the package, it doesn't tell you. Yeah, it'll be easy enough to figure out, but yeah, they might want to put that on there. Luckily, I have a package of clear tones around here, and on the back of that, they've got all the color codes. Now, I've seen people lately saying that they leave that ball end in there and just put that in there. No, that's not how I'm gonna do it. Snip that off. And I'm not going to do this for every string, just wanted to show you. Notice that I put the high and the low E strings on there first. That's just the way I like to do it. Just loosen that up. And you don't have to go too far on that. Most of you probably already know this, but I just use the end of the string that I cut off to pull the little block back. Now, I highly doubt that this thing is actually intonated correctly, but I do have an intonation tool, and maybe I'll do a separate video on just that. So we cut the ball end off. I've stuck that down in there, and we tighten that up real good. I'll just take this up to the headstock and secure it there. All right, I've got all the strings on here now. All I got to do is get this thing leveled out, and I'm not sure I'll be able to level this out because initially, when I put this on here, this block was almost up against this wall right here, and I've had a pretty hard time of balancing it out. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the locking tuner pieces on there, and we'll see if I can get this thing all balanced out and playing well. All right, I kept saying GK1000 earlier in this video, but I just realized that it's GKS1000, and it says 1000 through 4000, so I guess each one of those numbers is one of those colors. So yeah, hey, whatever, it works really well, and I didn't have to do any modification of the guitar itself. Those posts went right into the original bushings that were in the guitar. Well, the choice is yours as far as which one to use, and luckily there are a lot of choices out there. I just wanted to show you this one from Guyker. It is the GKS1000, and I just want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, always very important to my channel, so if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's a red subscribe button down there and notification bell. Click both of those, you'll get notifications when I upload new videos. If you're so inclined, want to toss a couple bucks my way, it is not inexpensive to run these channels. There is a thanks button down below this video. Click that and you can send whatever you like. Either way, I'm just really happy that you're here. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.